The other day I went to the cinema and I saw A Star is Born, the new production based on the previous 8 or 9 versions. Um, it's directed, co-produced, co-written by, starring, and with some songs co-written by Bradley Cooper. And also Lady Gaga's in it. It's not great. The focus is much more balanced than in previous versions. So the male character who discovers a very talented amateur and sees her star rise as his declines, they get almost equal time. But the problem is that the male character is much less interesting. He's quite two-dimensional, he's quite a cliche, and it doesn't feel like the story's been updated in any particular way. He's an addict and he's an alcoholic, but given that it's the present day, it's the 2010s, you'd think, well, he's probably doing heroin or like real hard drugs. No, he does some pills, but mainly he's just a drunk, which feels soft. It feels like it's not as real as it ought to be. And the problem is the contrast with the performance by Lady Gaga, and I'm going to stop calling her that now, because that's the name of her stage persona. And I feel like I should be referring to her by her real name, which is Stefani Germanotta. She's really good. I mean, she's a natural performer, as anyone who's aware of her stage shows knows, but she's a very talented actor, very natural, very realistic. A lot of the dialogue feels like it's probably improvised because it just has a very natural, comfortable flow. So she's a real talent as an actor. Sam Elliott, who plays Cooper's older brother and his road manager, is also superb, but Cooper himself is the weak link. He's not playing a particularly interesting character, and he doesn't give them much of an interesting side to them. The screenplay is functional, the direction is adequate, the songs are desperately unmemorable. As a whole, it's something of a damp squib. I'm not surprised that it's being touted so heavily for big awards because, as I've said before, and I'll say again, Hollywood loves nothing more than to stare into a mirror for 2 hours. And if this film were about acting, it would be a dead cert for Best Picture, because they just love movies about movies, and they love movies about stars dreaming in the wonder of Hollywood, and everything they hear comes true. I also remember that there are some unconvincing supporting characters. The female character, Ali, picks up an English manager who is so cartoonishly evil that, well, I don't want to spoil the end of the movie, but he's a caricature, and he's also British, so he's obviously the villain because that kind of movie. It's childish. It feels like something. I mean, my mother has started watching more modern movies, and I think she might find this a bit old hat. It just feels very, very old-fashioned and soft, and it doesn't. It should have more of an edge to it, rather than being, oh, there are some people in the music industry who are quite mean, who are just after money, and they try and make you adhere to a particular image because it'll sell more records and they'll make more money out of you. What a shocking revelation! And it's absurd. I mean, this is the 4th version of this story. People have known about this since the 30s. It's really not that startling. So, to churn it over again, with little in the way of change or inflection other than basic updating, it's not really good enough.